Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience and those tuning in online. We're glad you all could join us as well. Our next guest is definitely an example that hard work pays off, but also being passionate about what you love definitely helps as well. We're excited to welcome Eddie Perez to our program today. He's not only an Emmy-winning stunt coordinator, but an individual who's been able to do what he loves in front of the camera and even behind the camera. We'll talk to Eddie about the journey, what it's been like for him to work on some amazing projects when it comes to television and film, and, of course, let you guys know how to stay connected with him as well. Eddie, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Well, the pleasure's definitely all mine. You know, you and I connected through a mutual friend, Susan Bell, and she was singing your praises to me, and she said, Cyrus, you know, I know you're going to love talking with Eddie. And what is so cool about your journey, though, Eddie, is that you are doing the work that so many people just dream about. So I want to talk about that. I mean, what has that been like for you to have had this vision for yourself and now to be able to walk in that?
You know, it's like everything else. It's hard work, and you kind of put your head down and just focus on work. So I've always just, try to find things that are right for me and, try to do something I enjoy. And, I've enjoyed the journey of being in the industry, and, it's always something new. I never wanted to be in something that just becomes, monotonous.
And that's so interesting you say that, because when people look at your body of work, it definitely is very diverse. Of course, you've been recognized for Shameless, but also, I mean, just looking at some of these other projects, like I said, for television and film, I mean, what has that part of it been like for you, not only to do work that you're loving, Eddie, but also to work on some amazing projects that have become beloved by so many people?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, for example, Once Upon a Time in America, it was a movie about old Hollywood and, stunts, and to have Quentin ask me to be on the show, was just a real honor to do it. So I really appreciated doing something like that and being recognized, because he had said I had been in so many movies that he had seen that I'd ruined for him. So I took that as a compliment.
Right. And I know you get a lot of that, not only, of course, from people who are in the industry, Eddie, but also I noticed, along this, when I was prepping for this, I mean, people, kind of cheering you on along the way. Of course, most of that is happening virtually, like for the rest of us these days, as we're kind of communicating with people online. But talk to us about that part of the experience. You're doing what you love, but you also been able to inspire other people. Was that part of the goal for you, to show other people what they could do?
I was, it's always been one of those things. People helped me along the way, and a lot of people that helped me along the way always, were kind enough to say, hey, don't forget, you can't do it alone. So, for example, when I first came out here to L.A., Mickey Rourke was kind enough to let me stay with him for 6 months till I got, my shit together. So, I always looked at it, and he never asked for anything. I was like, hey, can I help? No, just go do what you got to do. And it just resonated in me that, hey, you know what? You get to that point, do the same thing back for people. Give back. Because, that one person you help, it's gratifying to see somebody become successful because you helped them. And, it's not always helping getting work. It's like, I've let plenty of people stay on my couch for a week or two or a month till they got it together. And it's in a time like we're going in now, you got to remember that you got to help each other out. We're all human beings, and we're all, when people are out for the same goal, take a minute and help, talk to someone, help them out. You never know what that's going to do, how it's going to change their life or resonate in some way.
You just brought up an interesting point, Eddie, and that is the power of relationships. To be able to build those relationships. I think a part of that has to go back to what we were just talking about, that when it comes to passion, do you think when people do see that you're serious, that you're really trying to do what it is you say you're doing, that they are more willing to help you?
Yeah, and also, if you focus on your work, and, after a while you get a reputation for being good at what you do because you put that time in. And, it's an industry where people also want a reassurance that you're going to be able to deliver and understand what's going on, because they have their own thing going on, the time crunch, the money. There's a lot of other factors. So when they know that, you know, you're going to be part of the team, you know, people want you to do that. So you got to remember that it's not, you know, in our industry where it can be self-indulgent. People have to remember it's not just about you. There's a bigger picture. It's a team effort.
And that team effort is so important, and that's a great segue to going back to the work. I mean, like I said, you've been able to do this work, Eddie, and definitely have the work, you know, recognized, you know, being an Emmy winner when it comes to work you've been able to do with Shameless, but also, of course, just being able to do what you love as an actor, even stunt coordinator, and now behind the camera as a director. Do you think it is about progression also? I mean, did you, when you first got into the industry, did you have in mind that eventually you would like to be able to direct?
I didn't really, but being around some great directors, you know, I learned a lot from them, and I've had the greatest film school ever. I think just being around great people and just the progression of, you know, doing stunts and getting your body beat up after a while. It hurts and it's not working as well as I wanted to. I have to admit that. You know, there has to be a realization at some point that, like, hey, this is great, but there's only certain things you can do, certain things you were able to do when you're 20 you can't do anymore. So what do you do now? So I think, you know, being behind the camera and creating and having understanding for what people go through is also a great, you know, asset, because I know, you know, I've been on movies where people had me do 20 takes and my body was just beat up. And knowing that, hey, you know, 3 or 4 is about what it, you know, everybody thinks the stunt people is superhuman, you know, and we're human beings as well. We break. Right. So there has to be a limit. I know what that limit is for people, and give them the opportunity to perform their best and do their best without abusing them.
Well, I think, again, that is one of the great things about this experience, that we're able to watch it with you. We're able to watch you being able to do this work, and then, of course, to have that work recognized. I want to say, for those who are just tuning in, is on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Eddie Perez to our program today. Eddie is talking with us not only about his journey in the entertainment industry as a stunt coordinator and actor and also director, but also what it's been like for him to do work that he loves, to be able to build some great relationships along the way, and also show other people what's possible for them. I referenced social media earlier, Eddie. I mean, it's one of the ways that a lot of us now are staying connected even more because of what's happening in the world. Talk to us about that. I mean, it's one thing to have good people around you, but what has it been like for you to be able to see this larger audience that you've been able to have kind of following your work?
You know, it's interesting because, you know, again, a lot of people have questions, and I try to answer them all as best I can and just give people, you know, again, with social media and everything, there's a lot of resources that people can access. So I just try to point them in that direction. I wish, you know, I had the tell-all answer, but I don't. But at least if I can point someone in the right direction and inspire them, that's, you know, it's a great thing. It's something I didn't have. So it's something that, and again, I'm aware of how many people aren't aware of the resources out there, so I try to, you know, when I can, put it out there and say, hey, go here, go there, you know, read this, read that, go to this website, that, you know, it'll give you at least a direction, and, you know, may not be the direction you want to go in. I mean, always be open-minded. You know, people have started out as actors and become directors or producers. You know, don't limit yourself.
Yeah. Well, for those who are following you on your Facebook fan page there, Eddie, they'll see a photo you posted on March the 19th there, standing there with the 2 Emmys. I mean, talk to us about that feeling, because there's also that video of when your name was called, right, and you going up on stage. Another photo that's up there on your cover photo is, you know, you're giving the speech. I mean, talk to us about that, and of course, not that you do it for the awards, but what was it like for you to have your work recognized that way?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I always feel like the award thing it's a very surreal experience, because I'm accepting an award as a stunt coordinator, but there's so many people that were involved, so many stunt players that actually performed it, and we also have a Chicago unit that does their piece in it. So it's kind of like accepting an award on behalf of all of them. Yes, I'm the face of it, and also, if it wasn't for the great writing on the show, I couldn't do what I do. I mean, I read it, and you know, when I read something that really appeals to me that I can sink my teeth into, I'm excited. Because, like, okay, let me talk to the directors and producers and see what we can do that's cool here, what they have in mind. So it's accepting an award on behalf of a lot of people. So for me, it's always hard. Like, I'm like, yeah, thank you, but God, I got a list of people I want to say thank you to, and that are part of this. And it's like, can I break it up? Can I have like 20 of these little ones that I can give to people as well and let them know they're a part of it?
Yeah.
You know, so it's interesting.
Right. Well, we know there would definitely be more to come. So I want to talk to you as we wrap up here, Eddie, about the what's next. I mean, this year has not been the year a lot of people had expected when it came to 2020, what they wanted to do. But what are you looking forward to as things continue to open up and to expand?
Oh, yeah, looking forward to going back to work. I was on episode 4 of Snowfall, which I work on as well, and we were about to do some really cool stuff, and that got shut down. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that. Shameless was about to start. We're supposedly starting back again in September, so this is the final season. So it'll be, a bittersweet, prolonged last season. And, also trying to focus on finding things to direct and go in that direction. So, it's just trying to stay busy through it all and keep my mind going.
Yeah.
And working out at home and, by myself in my gym because, can't really go near people and, there's going to be a lot of restrictions and it's going to be a new way of filmmaking for a while. So, rightfully so. And, if you respect all the people around you, you have to adhere to it.
So true. So true. Well, we're definitely looking forward to much more from you, Eddie. Again, everyone, Eddie Perez has been our guest. Great conversation with you, Eddie. We've been talking with Eddie about the amazing journey he's been on, the success he's been able to have, but also the impact he's been able to make. So, Eddie, where's the best place for people to stay connected with you?
On Instagram, I am Eddie Perez. What else? Twitter's the same. I am Eddie Perez, and Facebook is my name also, Eddie Perez. So all on those.
All right, so make sure you guys are definitely staying connected. And for those joining us via the podcast, we'll make sure to link that up for you guys. Eddie, congratulations to you again. Really appreciate this time and looking forward to speaking with you again.
You got it. Thank you again, and have a great rest of the day.
Now, you do the same thing, Eddie. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let's make today amazing. Take care.